Moscow has been in military mood this week, preparing to celebrate 69 years since it defeated Nazi Germany. And all against the backdrop of Russia annexing Crimea less than 2 months ago and the fighting in eastern Ukraine. But in the Kremlin today, President Putin showed his first sign of wanting to de-escalate the tensions in Ukraine. In a meeting with the President of Switzerland, he insisted Russia had pulled back its troops from the border, and then he called on the armed pro-Russian activists in eastern Ukraine to delay their controversial referendum.
We call on the representatives of southeast Ukraine, the supporters of the federalization of the country, to postpone the referendum scheduled for May the 11th.
It could be a significant breakthrough, though a source close to President Putin told me Russia would only support presidential elections in Ukraine this month if the government in Kiev engaged in serious talks with the East. And the key question, as Mr. Putin left the room, was whether the pro-Russia activists will do as he asks. It was a dramatic move by President Putin, wrong-footing everyone just 4 days before the referendum was due to be held. So with the situation in Ukraine deteriorating by the day, President Putin may just have blinked. But if so, why? One answer could be the Russian economy. People's lives have been transformed in the last 15 years as oil money has paid for Western consumer goods. But it could all be put at risk by further sanctions.
The consequences could be dire. I would say that if Russia breaks down, it will break up, or it may break up.
Spring is just arriving in Moscow, but it has been overshadowed by the fighting over the border. President Putin may have calculated that it's now time to consolidate his gains, rather than risk everything by going for broke in Ukraine. Daniel Sanford, BBC News, Moscow.